The story kicks off in the year 2078, 3 years after the end of the world, in a completely desolate wasteland. We're on the outskirts of Uezu City, where the temperature is a scorching 67 degrees Celsius. Our protagonist is locked in a fierce battle against a hellhound. He pauses to reload while his companions cheer him on, hoping their captain, Yang Yuan, will finish the creature off quickly. But the beast doesn't give him a second to spare, lunging at him with everything it's got. Just then, 2 girls rush in, worried sick about him, but the pink-haired girl, Yi, ends up taking a devastating blow. This momentary distraction is all the captain needs to fire a shot, landing it right in the giant monster's eye. This only enrages the hellhound even more, and now it channels all its fury onto the 2 young women before it. Yi freezes in terror, realizing the creature is about to strike her down. But Yang wasn't about to let that happen. He charges straight at the beast, knife in hand. He manages to stab the monster, but in the process, he suffers a severe wound to his chest. The monster flings the captain aside and retreats, having been injured itself. His companions rush to his side, but the wound is critical. He urges them to run and save themselves first. The pink-haired girl breaks down, crying and pleading for her captain not to die there. Meanwhile, the other survivor is suddenly grabbed from behind, wondering who could possibly be doing this. A traitor reveals their plan. They're going to take the captain's supplies and split them among themselves. The vice captain, Liang Gao, chimes in, saying it's a waste to use medicine on someone who's already dying. The brown-haired girl, Jiayan, is furious, questioning how they could abandon the man who saved them countless times. But the blonde guy scoffs, asking who told their leader to play the hero. He then grabs her, reminding her that this is the apocalypse, a world where 90% of humanity has been wiped out. In this world, someone without a special ability is just a burden, but she retorts that their captain never saw things that way. The traitor picks up the leader's gun, calling it junk because it's jammed, all while staring down at Yang on the ground. He then declares that their former captain has served his purpose and had a worthy death, saving them. The guys try to drag the girls away by force, but they refuse to abandon their fallen leader's body. With a malicious grin, the vice captain suggests they might get lucky with some big shot from the army. Furious, the brown-haired girl lands a solid kick to the blonde guy's face, calling them cowards. Meanwhile, the pink-haired girl seizes the opportunity, biting down hard on the arm of the guy holding her. The blonde gets up, irritated, and sneers that without the captain to protect her, she's finally fallen into his hands. With hatred in her eyes, the girl tells him he's going to die a horrible death for what he's done. Giving up the fight, she closes her eyes and tells him to go ahead and do what he wants. She weeps, whispering the captain's name as she resigns herself to her fate. Out of nowhere, a powerful kick sends the blonde flying. He smashes into the wall, cracking it on impact. To everyone's utter astonishment, Captain Yang Yuan is back on his feet. He's radiating pure fury, and the traitor can't believe his eyes, refusing to accept that the captain is still alive. The girls are overjoyed to see their leader standing tall, while the other guys are completely shell-shocked. Without a moment's hesitation, our hero aims the gun at them and roars for them to let his companions go immediately. The vice captain tries to de-escalate the situation, but the blonde tells him not to waste his breath on their old boss. Right after that, the blonde traitor grabs a rock from the ground, ready to use it as a weapon against his captain. He taunts the protagonist, asking if the great hero of the apocalypse really has the guts to shoot. Without a second thought, the captain fires, landing a direct hit on the traitor. Next, the leader shoots the vice captain, who screams in agony after being hit in a very sensitive spot. Liang writhes in pain as the other traitor also gets shot in his precious jewels. The cowards flee while screaming threats, but our boy declares that the Yang Yuan they knew is dead. But once the adrenaline wears off, he realizes he's out of strength and about to collapse from his injuries. The brown-haired girl embraces him, relieved, and asks if he's all right. Suddenly, the wound on his neck begins to glow, and in his thoughts, Yang reveals that he had in fact already died in that moment. He only managed to survive because he awakened an ability at the very last second of his life. Just then, a system screen popped up, notifying him that the host had died and was now being revived. His friends notice his body growing warm and are overjoyed by the awakening of his power. Another screen appears, showing he gained 1 experience point for defeating an enemy. The protagonist is confused, not quite understanding what this new ability is or what experience even means. At that point, the system explains that he can upgrade himself and his items by accumulating experience. Out of nowhere, the Hellhound returns, standing at the cave entrance and watching them. Despite the girls' panic, the captain tells them not to be afraid, because now he can fight it on equal footing. He starts thinking about how the monsters come from relics and are divided into different classes and elements. The strongest of them all is the Haba, a terrifying creature that destroys everything in its path. Determined, our hero knows he must defeat this beast to protect his friends from even greater dangers. After this, we see the traitors were the ones who had led the Hellhound back. They simply watch the monster from afar, celebrating their revenge plan, which should buy them enough time to escape. The creature turns, its eyes filled with fury, looking ready to pounce at any moment. And so, the monster charges with full force towards the group, who are now cornered inside the small cave. His companions are terrified, but our hero looks determined, declaring that the EXP is on its way. He fires at the creature, and a system screen shows the gun's level rapidly climbing to 6 out of 10. Dodging the beast's attack, he realizes that using the pistol in combat grants experience directly to the item. With 4 more clean shots, the weapon reaches 10 out of 10 experience and can finally be upgraded. Brimming with confidence, our hero tries to upgrade his weapon right in the middle of the battle against the giant creature. However, an error message pops up. His character level is too low to upgrade the weapon. He's completely stunned, and his friends yell at him to stop trying to look cool at a time like this. A status screen appears, and the captain understands he needs to level himself up first before he can upgrade his items. Without hesitation, Yang yells upgrade, and his status immediately shows he's now level 2. With that, the pistol also levels up, now boasting a 60-meter range and normal accuracy. Then, our hero fires a shot, and a powerful beam of energy pierces through the creature's body, giving it no chance to react. The protagonist smiles confidently, seeing the incredible result of his newfound power and his upgraded weapon. From a distance, the traitors watch everything unfold, completely shocked and wondering how their ex-leader got so strong. The vice captain then says they can't let the captain get away, or they'll all end up dead. The scene then shifts to the Wenjing City area, at a camp bustling with survivors. After some time, they've finally finished setting up their tent. Exhausted, the protagonist wipes the sweat from his brow, relieved that they've finally made it. The 2 girls are also worn out, mentioning how grueling the 2-day journey was. With the monster's corpse on his back, he says that now they can settle in and farm some more EXP. The pink-haired girl still seems hesitant, asking if they'll really be allowed to stay here. Her leader reassures her, explaining that army bases are required to take in any survivors. Just then, a group of residents approaches, hoping to trade for some of the monster meat he's carrying. They offer various items in exchange, but the captain refuses to part with the creature's tendon. Suddenly, the brown-haired girl spots a familiar face in the crowd and calls out, "Yu Wei." It's one of the traitors who shamelessly approaches and also asks for a piece of meat. Furious, his former companion yells that he has no right to call him captain after what he did. The traitor immediately drops to his knees, begging for forgiveness and pinning all the blame on the vice captain, Liang Gao. The traitor continues his act, claiming Liang Gao tricked them into abandoning their captain. He reveals that the vice captain sent them away on purpose, just so he could keep a monster core for himself. With that core, Liang Gao became an officer, and now pretends he doesn't even know his old comrades. To his friend's surprise, our hero agrees to help the traitor, who left him for dead. The coward is relieved, thinking to himself that his former leader isn't the type to hold a grudge. But the protagonist places a hand on the traitor's face, and then makes a very strange proposal. Yang tells him that if he gets himself hurt, he'll give him the meat. The traitor is completely bewildered, asking if his ex-leader is messing with him. Our boy then reveals that nowadays, he does hold a grudge. Right after that, he starts handing out the meat to the other survivors, who thank him profusely. From a distance, the vice captain watches everything with rage, wondering how the hero even found the camp. He gets even more infuriated, seeing his former leader thriving and being praised by everyone there. With hatred in his eyes, the traitor decides he won't let the protagonist walk all over him. We then see a sign pointing to the camp's mission registration and dispatch area. At the registration counter, Jian asks why they're receiving so few supplies. The vice captain explains that supplies are limited and they have to prioritize the weakest members. Jian flies into a rage over the injustice, shouting that they're being given the worst missions on purpose. The traitor plays dumb, claiming he's actually looking out for his ex-leader because of his injury. Then, Liang's men kick them out, saying they can't be trusted with any real missions. The girl turns red with anger, unable to say a single word to defend herself from the humiliation. But her captain stops her from escalating the fight, reminding her that Yi is waiting for them. As they leave, the traitor's men mock them, and one even offers to take care of the two girls. Back at the tent, Jian is still fuming, blaming the vice captain for abusing his newfound power. Our hero notices that other people's attitudes are also strange and suggests they split up for a bit. They agree to the plan, all while one of Liang's cronies listens in from a distance. Back at the camp, Yi is roasting a large piece of the wolf meat they managed to get. Just then, a group of men, drawn by the smell, approaches and demands some of the meat. They start grabbing the meat, claiming it's for Liang, but Yi tries to stop them. One of the men shoves her hard, and she cries out in pain as she falls, unable to react. The other people in the camp see what's happening, but out of fear, tell their children not to look. One of the goons pins the girl to the ground and taunts her to scream for her leader. Unexpectedly, the aggressor's hand is struck by a bullet. And right after, the captain appears at the tent's entrance, and the girl's face lights up when she sees him. The goon sputters that it's illegal to kill on the base, but Yang just shoots him in the legs. The thug drops to his knees, writhing in agony on the ground. The protagonist says he's going to kill him, and the aggressor calls him a coward for it. Yang then finishes the man off and thanks them for the experience points they provided. Jian arrives to see the commotion, as people all around are shouting that someone is attacking. She enters the tent, and the captain explains that he took care of the guys who were bothering Yi. The brown-haired girl glances at the body on the floor and says she figured it was them again. The pink-haired girl starts to cry, feeling guilty that her leader had to do this for her sake. But her friend comforts her, saying that stealing food on an army base can be a death sentence. She then reveals that she found out about the rumors Liang Gao has been spreading about the captain's behavior. Jian explains that many people believe the traitor and now want to kick him out of the camp. Yang is furious to hear that the other survivors want to throw him out of the base. With a defiant smirk, he thinks to himself that they're about to see who's really getting kicked out of this camp. Suddenly, a group of soldiers, led by a man with a ponytail, storms into the tent, looking for him. The protagonist then steps forward, confirming he's the person the soldiers are looking for. The captain introduces himself as Zhang Kaizi and accuses the group of violating the unit's rules, ordering them all to be arrested. The guards then move in to arrest the trio, who are taken by surprise, as our protagonist asks what they think they're doing. But our boy doesn't just surrender, he swiftly strikes down the two guards. The captain of the guards then accuses him of taking a life and says he must face punishment. With a wicked smile, Liang warns him not to resist, or he'll face the consequences. Outraged, the protagonist shouts that he only acted in self-defense because the man tried to rob and attack them. The soldier's leader asks for proof, but the traitor lies, saying they just went to take a look. Another henchman backs up the lie, claiming the group shot at them because they were unhappy with their assigned task. Yi shows her bruised arm, saying that this is the proof of the men's attack. The vice captain calls her clever and accuses her of injuring herself on purpose to frame them. Our hero tries to defend himself, saying the traitor is just jealous and can't stand to see him doing well in the camp. Tired of all the lies, the captain of the guards shouts and orders the hero to be arrested immediately. The guards move in to apprehend him, but our hero yells for them to stay away. However, the young man doesn't give in, shouting that he has more evidence to prove his innocence. Liang asks what proof he could possibly have, thinking he's just stalling for time. That's when our hero reveals that their meat has a specific mark on it, and a simple search will confirm the theft. At this, the traders get nervous, arguing that they can't just be searched out of the blue. Yang doesn't waste a second and moves toward them. He then accuses them of trying to block the investigation because they have something to hide. The men are completely flustered and vehemently deny the young man's accusation. One of the guards finds the stolen meat in the trader's tent and brings it to his captain. At that point, our hero explains that his friend is very meticulous and marks all the meat they acquire. Inspecting the meat, one of the guards notices there really is a mark on it. He holds up a piece of the meat and curiously asks if the mark is supposed to be a bird. Completely embarrassed, his friend explains that the mark is a swallow because of her name, Jian. With no way out, the traders try to lie, claiming that's the mark they've always used. But Jian furiously asks why on earth they would carve her name onto their meat. The trader tries to come up with a lame excuse, but is left completely speechless. However, the captain of the guards has already figured it all out and grabs the liar by the neck. Holding the coward up, he threatens him for wasting his time with this charade. He then slams the traitor to the ground without a shred of pity. As the guards leave, Liang, still on the floor, vows that the hero will pay for this. With a cold stare, the protagonist calmly replies that he'll be waiting for that day. The henchmen carry Liang out as he orders them to get a medkit. His companion worries, since they still depend on the traitor to receive missions. Then she notices her leader is working with some bones and asks what he's doing. With a confident smile, the young man explains he's making a weapon for her protection. With her eyes sparkling with joy, Jiayin thanks her captain profusely for the gift. He assembles a small wrist-mounted crossbow and realizes that crafting items also increases his personal experience. A system notification confirms that assembling the weapon granted him 1 EXP point. His other friend is impressed by the arrows and praises her leader's incredible skill. But when he tests the weapon, the arrow just plops to the ground with no force at all, leaving the girls baffled. The girls try to hold back their laughter, but our hero pretends he's very pleased with the weapon's performance. He tries again with the same result, and his friends ask him not to push himself so hard. Just then, the system screen shows that the wrist crossbow is finally ready to be upgraded. With a smirk, he upgrades the weapon, which gets a cool new look and now has mediocre's power. His friend thinks the new weapon's design is really cool, and he invites her to test it out. Although a bit skeptical, the girl gets ready to fire the crossbow. The shot is much more powerful than expected, and the arrow flies far with incredible speed. She's completely blown away by the range and power of the weapon he just created. Jian thanks him profusely, and her other friend, Yi, also asks for a crossbow to protect herself. He then promises they'll all get one, thinking to himself that this is a new way to farm EXP. Sometime later, the group returns to the camp's mission dispatch tent. There, they run into the traitor Liang, who cynically asks what Captain Yang wants this time. Our hero says he's finished the task and wants a new one, so the traitor sends him to another well. Jian is outraged because the location is dangerous, and he tells them they'll need a full team for any other task. With a hopeful look in her eyes, she tries to recruit people, telling them her leader has a superpower. But her attempt fails miserably, as no one wants to team up with an alleged murderer and be used as bait. One man scoffs at them, saying people like them should just keep digging wells for the rest of their lives. The brown-haired friend is furious and shouts that they were set up, but the other one stops her from starting a fight. With a smug smile, the traitor says it's not his fault if no one wants to join their group. Tired of the provocation, Yang loses his patience and smashes Liang's head against the table. He then fires several shots around the traitor's head, leaving him absolutely terrified. The protagonist asks why he would kill someone else when he didn't even finish off his old enemy. He reveals he has an unlimited ammo pistol ability and declares he can protect anyone who joins him. He then announces that anyone who wants to form a team can meet him at the well site, and then he walks away. The crowd is impressed by his power, and some of them consider joining him. Lying on the floor, Liang wonders why he keeps getting beaten by his rival, even though he has a higher position now. At the well site, the brown-haired friend complains about the hard work, wondering when it'll ever end. Yi suggests they just finish the task so that people will let their guard down and be more willing to join them. Suddenly, Yi's eyes begin to glow with a mysterious green light. Startled, she points into the distance and tells her leader that there's something very strange over there. The captain and her friend look out but can't see anything out of the ordinary, leaving them confused. All of a sudden, a giant stone foot slams down hard on the ground. Following that, a stone golem begins to advance towards them, and they can only wonder what in the world it is. A gigantic rock monster with glowing red eyes emerges, and the group is terrified by the sight of the creature.